Well, what is this? Not only are we getting animation updates, nice NPC units are finally coming out in the game, and we're also getting very strong buffs for units that need it. That's right, Jeanne and Jalter both just got buffs about 2 nights ago. I'm a little late on covering this one, but it's kind of insane how nice things are flowing over here on the JP side of things. And I think if you are on the NA side of things, it gives you something to really look forward to in the next couple of years. Now, that's the one thing that I really hope they start to nail is maybe the release schedule. Maybe we get things a little closer, but we're going to talk about Jeanne and Jalter's buffs in today's video. But before we begin, if you have not already, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that daily FGO content. Maybe even sometimes like today where we have double uploads. Whew, there's a little too much going on, right? Who would have ever thought I would have said that, double uploads? But let's just start getting right into this. Now, Jeanne over here got a buff to her first skill, and look at this glow up. Look at how insane this is. Okay, I was using Jeanne for the crab, high DRCQ over on the NA side of things for the Tesla Fest, and her really only having an NP and one real skill was very, very apparent during that fight, because this only works if it's against servants. So this was like, I guess, sure, you pop it whenever you want to have 9 stars in rotation, sure, whoop-de-doo, thank you. This is not year 1 anymore, but look at how insane of a glow up this is. First and foremost, we're getting 15 stars every single turn. That's actually a notable amount of stars increase. And if you do look at the rest of this buff, she's giving arts to the entire party, which you can quote me a couple of years ago, I was saying when she got this buff over here that I was like, I would have kind of liked to see her maybe become kind of an art support type servant. I think she could work as a very defensive arts utility unit, and that's exactly what they're doing over here. And then they're also giving her the 20% of the entire party. Like, that's not bad at all whatsoever. I mean, it's not like, oh, just throw down your Castorias. This is going to be your more quote-unquote free-to-play replacement, because you can pick up Jeanne, and she is on every single banner, so I'm assuming more people than not actually have her, but it's not going to be like that. It's not like that insane. But as a buff for Jeanne, who practically did not have a first skill, this is very, very nice. If I was going through the CQ with this version of Jeanne, I think it would have been so much more smooth, because getting the 15 stars in and of itself is already providing a decent bit of stars in addition to, say, Brave Chains that you're already going to be doing and any other star bomb or star refund skills that your other units might have. But then also getting the arts buff, not only does that just help your arts units a little bit more because they're going to get a little bit of extra damage on their NP, but really it's almost like an NP gain buff, because every unit's going to have at least 1 arts card, if not 2 for most of the normal units, right? And so giving them a buff to those arts performances is going to buff up their NP gain just a little bit more. And I think it's also really going to help Jeanne herself in solos, because if you've ever done solos with Jeanne, for one, it takes a long time, but you can get it done by pretty much looping her NP over here where she's just always invincible, as long as they don't have buff removal or pierce invul, stuff along those lines. But giving herself that extra NP gain on her arts cards, because her natural NP gain is high, but her hits are really low because she's a year 1 unit, I think could make that a little bit more consistent while also bringing in a little bit of NP, which is kind of nice. It can help her get to her own NP. Maybe you're just shy a little bit. That happened to me numerous times in my CQ clear, where I was at like 86% NP, and I was like, oh, I wish she had a battery so I could fire her NP, because her NP is still very, very strong. I mean, as I described it in the past, it's kind of just a worse version of Castoria's NP, but if you're cheating off of Castoria's homework, you're doing something right. It's literally just, oh, instead of solemn defense, I get invincibility, but it's at least for the turn. I'm still removing debuffs, and I'm still giving a little bit of a heal. I'm giving some sustain, and the idea of giving a little bit of defense is nice, although you really do need to start getting her to like NP 3 to 5 for it to really matter, but the idea is there. I'm sure they'll rebuff her NP or something, to maybe make this effect and this effect a little bit more powerful. But Jeanne herself is starting to become a real unit. I mean, we slap a buff on her third skill over here, Bound, I think that's not going to change. It's kind of nice that it, you know, as you can, I think that, yeah, they explain it right here, that it ignores some stun resistances. I think that's kind of nice for it to be restricted to servants, as you do mostly fight servants in CQ and more difficult missions, so that's fine. I think that's okay, but just, I don't know, add some other buffs to it. Maybe it's also like a targetable buff on somebody if you want to go the Amakusa route, or maybe you do just want to have like these almost party-wide buffs, because everything that Jeanne does is party-wide. Like everything she does benefits the entire party. I mean, everybody can make use of this. Everyone can make use of this. The stun, in theory, everybody does make use of by, you know, buying yourself some extra turns. It's just really nice. I really like the direction that they're taking Jeanne in, and I can't wait for this to come to the NA version, dude. I'm so excited for my Jeanne to actually be a bit better. I mean, significantly better. Let's not even say a bit, but significantly better. And then, dude, they literally did the thing that everybody was asking them to do for Jalter, which I know some people are going to say it's boring. Some people are going to say that, like, oh, it's not the most exciting thing they could have done. Boo-hoo, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, as someone who really likes Jeanne Alter, this, dude, they slapped a 50% battery on the third skill. And this was something that I told people they would never do. I was like, they're never going to give Jalter a 50% battery. Do you know how much damage she does? She does insane metric butt tons amount of damage. They're not going to let her start treading on Kintoki's territory as just a guy you bring that does monstrous one-turn damage. But then, unlike Kintoki, she can capitalize on the following turns by doing insane crits. But no, now she just does that. She treads on Kintoki's territory. I guess she's not a berserker, so she's not as free to bring everywhere, but dude, even type neutral, Jalter is going to be slamming people. I do wish that this was maybe buffed to like 3 times for 3 turns or something along those lines, like maybe extended it just a little bit, because that can let you get a little bit of extra value. If you want to fire, say, a second NP, you can go for like a Buster NP, Buster card, Arts card, and then, you know, on your next turn, if you fire another NP, you still have that buff kind of getting a little bit of extra value, or you can really elongate it on 3 different NPs. I think that would have been really nice, but dude, getting the 50% battery is ridiculous. Like, who thought that they were actually going to do that? So many people were, you know, coming out to my streams being like, oh, watch her get the 50% battery, watch her get this. Just didn't think that was going to be a real thing they would do. But it's not only really insane for Jalter because, you know, she's got all the Avenger passive, so she's refunding extra NP every single turn. If a gust of wind hits her, she refunds a ton of NP. Her natural NP gain is already pretty high. Her hits, again, kind of like Jeanne over there, are very low because she is a very early on. I think she's year 2. I think she's not year 1, but she's year 2. You know, she doesn't, you know, have the really high hits, but this is just nice. You bring her to a CQ, she's got an extra 50% battery. That is so crazy if you're going to be using her with someone like Kolya and Sky. You could easily blitz through missions now because you could refund this back. You can refund it back. And so you could just blitz through some bosses because having the invincibility might just be good enough. You know, you might just be able to start easily 3-turning things because 2 of those turns, you're going to be completely fine. You're going to be safe from all damage. And then you're looping this back, firing another big battery. It's crazy. And then you've also got stars that are just always in rotation. She is really nasty at this point. Like, she's super sick nasty. It's just, now what? We're going to get Jalter's Ordeal Call 2 costume coming in, I would assume, maybe a week tops, something along those lines, when we see maybe the second banner for... Oh, I forget the guy's name, but actually, I don't want to spoil too much for my NA players. Let me not say who it is, but yeah, if we get like the second banner, we get all their costumes, it could be pretty sick. I don't know, like, things are really looking up over on the JP side of things, and I'm really liking it, because usually it takes them around, you know, anniversary summer to start picking things up, but dude, they're picking things up now in the end of March. Usually this is kind of a slower period for us, but things are really looking up. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of both of the buffs. I do think the 50% battery is not as cool and exciting, but it is very strong that she has it. It's ridiculously strong for Jeanne Alter to have this now. It definitely helps her out a lot when it comes to CQs, and if you want to use her as a single target farmer, I suppose. And then for Jeanne over here, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with a 3rd skill buff or maybe a rebuff on the NP. I'm really liking that this unit that everybody kind of used to dog on is starting to get really good. She's starting to be very strong. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace, late guys.